Hey everyone, Joe here. Thanks for joining me today. I have my friend Rich with me, and we are gonna play some Modern. So I've got to get the Merfolks all loaded up, and let's do it. 17's pretty good, but Rich always beats me in the die rolls. Pretty annoying. Okay, but we get a very nice hand to compensate. I think I'm going to be playing against Abzan, in which case I'm probably going to see my Spreading Seas go away, which is a little bit sad. Every now and then, though, he gets hands without any disruption. But we'll see how it goes. Poor Spreading Seas. Oh. Maybe turn 2 Spreading Seas. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't play main deck Joke, though I'm pretty sure he has one of them in the sideboard. It would be so nice if I get to resolve this Spreading Seas here. Looks like I'm going to. He's probably going to get some black mana now. Maybe Abrupt Decay on the AEther Vial? Okay, fair enough. I'll get to take him off of some black mana next turn. Hopefully we'll draw into some land. Well, another Spreading Seas I can't really complain about. If he had the hand disruption, he probably would have played it already. So we'll go ahead and hit his black source. Now some of you might be saying, but Joe, he has a man land. Why don't you hit his man land? Well, because black turns on most of his most potent spells, I think. Abrupt Decay, Liliana of the Veil. I mean, he needs all of his colors to play Siege Rhino. And we have another Spreading Seas in hand, so he won't be able to Inquisition me or anything like that. He's going to tap 2, probably for a Tarmogoyf. He's probably a 3-4 right now. We've got an instant, land, and artifact. But we're going to continue hitting his lands, I think. Hopefully we hit a land here. We have not. But Spreading Seas is going to help us draw cards. So we'll go ahead and attach that to the Stirring Wildwood. Alright, well, it's one of those games. Cockatrice likes to mess around sometimes. We are now 5 cards past the opening 7 and haven't hit a land in any of those 5 draws. So Rich keeps hitting his lands. If we hit a couple lands, well, we'll be able to slow this Tarmogoyf down a little bit with our Harbingers. And if we hit a land, hopefully it'll be a blue source, and we can also develop the board a little bit more with the Cursecatchers. Okay. One of my Spreading Seas is down. And the Tarmogoyf is going to grow. Land, instant, artifact, enchantment. I have been having really weird games against Rich every time I try to record videos with him, where I get unreasonably stuck on lands. Looks like he's going to be able to follow up with a Siege Rhino if he chooses to go that way. But we're now 6 draws in past the opening 7 and haven't hit a land in 6 draws. Well, okay, Liliana of the Veil. Well, let's not Siege Rhino, which would be a little bit worse in this situation, I think. If I draw land, if he plays a creature to protect Liliana, well, I have a Lord, Cursecatcher. I can play 2 of those if I draw a blue source next turn. So he's hitting his life total pretty hard with these lands. I haven't attacked him at all yet. This is really ridiculous. So now it's instant land, artifact, creature, enchantment, and Tarmogoyf is up to a 5/6. So I'm going to play an Island Walk Lord, possibly follow up with another Island Walk Lord to attack and take Liliana off the table. Hopefully Rich has 2 lands in his hand right now. It's pretty much the only way we're going to be able to stabilize here. Actually, yeah, that was fine. I mean, Tarmogoyf wasn't tapped, so we couldn't bounce him yet. He's making me discard. We're going to discard Harbinger because these 2 guys make my hands a little bit more efficient here. Let me think. I mean, obviously he has mana to play for Cursecatcher here. Harbinger is going to allow us to bounce his creatures, but we're not going to be able to take so many hits being tapped. Merrow Reejerey is a combo with Harbinger, though, but we can't play him yet. How is this going to play out? If I draw land next turn, I'm going to want to play this guy and this guy, if it's a blue source. If it's not, I'm going to want to play this guy, but then I can't attack through the Harbinger, through the Tarmogoyf. I have 3 Harbingers. That's probably a little bit redundant. So I don't think I'm gonna have time to bounce 3 creatures here. Maybe I can get him to attack by showing him that I'm throwing away a Harbinger. Maybe he doesn't think I have another one. Okay. So he activated Liliana, and now he's going to exile my creature. I'm going to create a token. And take 6. Let's double check. It is now sorcery. Sorcery, instant, land, artifact, creature, enchantment. We do have another Harbinger, but Liliana's going to be able to deal with it. Hopefully we draw land. Not the land that I wanted. Because we can't play 2 creatures this turn. Seems premature to scoop here. I think we bounce the Tarmogoyf, as lame as it sounds, and then let if Liliana wants to go, down to 0 to get rid of the Harbinger, that's okay with me. Liliana's really annoying right now. But every draw step I give Rich gives him more chances to hit Siege Rhinos and just close this thing out. Declaration in Stone, for anybody who hasn't played against it yet, is a really, really good card against us. So he wants me to discard again. I think now I want to get rid of one of these Cursecatchers. Rich got rid of a land, so we know he has a Tarmogoyf in his hand and something else. So if he doesn't have removal, which I can't imagine he does not, we can kill his Liliana with Island Walk. Alright, well, Spreading Seas is, I don't think, very, very useful here because he has access to his 3 colors regardless of which land I hit. I can't take him off black, I can't take him off white, I can't take him off green. So even though Spreading Seas draws us a card, if I tap, say, Island and Mutavault, I could cross my fingers and try to hit another land to play out another creature. Now, if Rich is sitting on removal here, actually, things are not quite as terrible as they might seem. He has this Tarmogoyf, but we get to keep bouncing him. We can take another 6 damage. Liliana the Veil can kill one of my creatures next turn, which is really rough. And she'll still stick around. So if Rich has instant speed removal, I'm pretty much wrecked because he can get rid of my Master of the Pearl Trident and then just eat my Harbinger of the Tides, in which case we just scoop. Trying to think of a scenario in which I don't scoop if he has removal in hand right now. If I play a Cursecatcher, attack with Mutavault and Harbinger at Liliana, neither of them is going to kill her. Tarmogoyf will eat my land. I don't have any lands right now. If I can cast Spreading Seas, cross my fingers, and then follow up with Cursecatcher if nothing else. Liliana can make me try to sack In which case, I can sack the Cursecatcher, take 6, and we'll have a better chance of seeing what Rich has in his hand. I mean, Reejerey would be very nice to get on the table, but that doesn't do anything right now because then I can't attack with Island Walk. It would be good because it would turn on my tap effects with Harbinger of the Tides, let me play Cursecatcher for free. Alright, it's really tempting just to attack Liliana, get her off the table now. If she goes up to 4 next turn, I can't see that happening since Rich is going to want to use her for her sort of removal ability. Let's see, we haven't drawn a lot of lands this game. I mean, there's 17 lands out of this 44, which is what? 34. It's better than 1 in 3 to hit a land. Significantly better than 1 in 3. 1 in 2.5. So what? Let's see. The benefit of casting Spreading Seas is mainly in developing my board a little bit further. If it hits me, a 4th land, that's wonderful. It's just tempo, just being able to play a 4th land, being able to play another creature, and potentially draw into a Master of Waves and legitimately stabilize. Master of Waves makes Liliana the Veil a little bit irrelevant. But then again, playing an Island Walk Lord and killing her right now makes her irrelevant as well. Rich would then get 6 in on me on the crackback, down to 4. Siege Rhino wouldn't quite finish me off. Alright, I think that I'm going to respect Rich's hand here. Let me check if he played a land last turn. So he did not play a land last turn, so he doesn't have a land in hand. If he had almost anything else, he would play it. So I'm going to play Spreading Seas now, targeting his Overgrown Tomb. We hit the land, but it wasn't really the land that we wanted again. Follow up with a Cursecatcher. Or do we want to crack the clue? No, Liliana's going to get rid of one of our only creatures. I think if we build our board presence a little bit more. See, we have the Harbinger Merrow Reejerey combo next turn if we draw another land. At least it has to be a blue source to get rid of the Tarmogoyf, but I can't see him not attacking anyway. So that guy's going to get bounced next turn. Yeah, we can't just crack the clue right now. I think I'm going to follow up with the Cursecatcher. Our life totals are pretty close, but Rich is obviously ahead on the board. If he attacks with a Tarmogoyf, I can bounce him with Harbinger and attack with Mutavault to get rid of Liliana, even if he... Well, I had a feeling he might do this. She can break up whatever he wants to break up here. If he thinks Harbinger is too annoying, he can get rid of that. If he doesn't want Island Walk, he can get rid of that. It all depends on the other card in his hand. At a certain point, we can stop playing around anything, just because, if we're in too deep of a hole, we can just go all out. So if he doesn't take the Island Walk Lord, we could play that, attack for 3, 2, and 3. It's only 8. He takes Reejerey. Well, the game has gotten to a pretty tight spot here. Let's see what he does with Liliana. Well, he can make me discard one of these fantastic cards. No, he's gonna make me kill somebody. Okay, So sacrifice the Cursecatcher and see what he wants to do with the Tarmogoyf. He's thinking about it. Well, he attacks. Makes sense. He's very close to killing me. And passes the turn. He still might have some removal in hand. We draw another Mutavault. Just awkward land draws all day. So I think we're going to bounce this Harbinger with another Harbinger. And I'm sorry, bounce the Tarmogoyf with another Harbinger. And then attack Liliana with a Mutavault. Seems like the only reasonable thing to do. I mean, attack Liliana with both the Harbinger and a Mutavault, just in case he has removal for one or the other. He already knows I have the Harbinger, so I can't see any reason. Now, if he has like Declaration in Stone, that'd be crazy, because then he could blow me out with both Harbingers. But my back is against the wall here. I can't just kill him next turn. If I play the Lord now, I can swing for 3 and 3. It's not enough. Tarmogoyf is still a pain in the butt, so I'm gonna go ahead and bounce that guy now. Looks like Rich is thinking about whether or not he actually wants to allow his Tarmogoyf to get bounced. Play the Mutavault right now, activate Mutavault, and just get Lily off the table. She did such a good job this game. What a card. Alright, unfortunately I don't have mana to crack the clue. Rich has 2 cards in hand, one of them is a Tarmogoyf. Don't know what the other one is, but we're just hanging on for dear life here. If we do another Tarmogoyf check, we have Sorcery, Instant, Land, Planeswalker, Artifact, Creature, Enchantment. Well, if Rich top decked that, that's pretty nice. He knows that I have this Lord, so there he goes. Gonna replay the Tarmogoyf, and still don't know what this last card in his hand is. Tarmogoyf is gigantic. I lost track of the last one. Sorcery, Instant, Land, Planeswalker, Artifact, Enchantment, Creature. He's a 7/8. There it goes. I'm just going to close these now. He's as big as he's going to get. Island, where have you been all my life? So, if we have card drawing effects, and we do with this clue on the table, we usually want to think about what we want to do with our land this turn before making a land drop. We're going to need some kind of blocker or something for this Tarmogoyf. So we've got to leave at least one guy back. Probably 2, just because he might have a piece of removal in hand, and we don't want to let him blow me out if I only leave one blocker up for the Tarmogoyf. Dismember is a dead card now. I've got 2 of those in my deck. That would be a terrible draw. So if I were to play the island and attack with all 3 Mutavaults and a Harbinger, if he doesn't have a path in hand, we would only be getting in for 8, and then we'd die on the crackback. If we top deck an Island Walk Lord, next turn we'll be able to activate 2 Mutavaults, and that would be lethal. That would be 12. So I think we're going to start here by tapping like this, leaving 2 Mutavaults up potentially as blockers to crack this clue, although that takes me off of double blue. So play a double blue spell should I draw it. Instant Speed Harbinger would be really nice, which case we want the double blue. The only land drop that I would play other than this island would be a 4th Mutavault. I don't think I need both 2 Mutavaults to block, so I could tap both of these now, leaving one up if I draw nothing after the clue. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that and see what I draw with this clue. Okay, well I have an island. I can play this lady out now. That's actually pretty good, I think. Because then I can chump his Harbinger next turn and I have more chances to top deck something. And he can blow me out. He could blow me out with Declaration, but he actually can't because I'd have Kira up. He might path one of these guys in response. But this just gives me more blue devotion for Master of Waves. Let's see if I can get a path out of his hand here. Looks like I can. So he paths a Harbinger, gives me a land, and he's down to 0 cards. Alright, that's just about all we can do here, where it's just top deck mode. If I top deck a Lord, I do have lethal. Actually, no, I can't attack with all 3 Mutavaults because I don't have the extra 6 mana to attack with all of them while still playing the Lord. But okay, let's see. I have the 2 damage from Kira, bring him down to 9, and then I get him with 3 of these guys for 9. So if he draws a land and I draw an Island Walk Lord, I think actually no, I have to chump block here. So I have to chump block. But if he attacks, I can swing back. If I chump block, I can only swing back for 8. It's tough. I'm going to be chump blocking for a little while. Okay, Rich passes with 1 card in his hand. I really need to hit like a Master of Waves here. Okay. So Master of Waves is going to make me 5 tokens, and I can attack with a Mutavault if I want to. He's got protection. He can't get hit by Abrupt Decay, which is the only thing Rich has that can't be countered. So if I tap like this, it doesn't really matter because I only have the 1 card in hand. And I'm only going to be able to activate 1 Mutavault if I want. So the sequencing on this with Kira on the table doesn't seem particularly relevant to me. Although he could hit Kira at instant speed with an Abrupt Decay. So I think I'm going to play this first now, and then I can attack with a Mutavault afterwards. If he has Abrupt Decay, he'd probably... Alright, let's think how this could work out. If I attack with Kira and he has Abrupt Decay, he's probably going to use it. If I play Master, he'll probably use it anyway, like to get me off of that extra devotion. Rich continues not playing lands, so I think he has something in his hand here that's pretty good. So either way, he's going to probably Abrupt Decay Kira if he has it. So I might as well try to attack with her now. Maybe he'll hold it a little bit longer. Then I have plenty of chump blockers next turn, unless he draws into like double path or something, which I can't really play around. We can still leave up Mutavault for a blocker. If he somehow deals with Master of Waves. Okay, we'll go to our second main. We'll tap like this. Play that guy. Okay, well, it doesn't look like he wants to get rid of Kira in response. So there's our 5 tokens. Alright, so Kira's got the Master of Waves back. She's going to protect him against Path to Exile. Protect him against Maelstrom Pulse. Rich doesn't have mana for Maelstrom Pulse plus Path to Exile right now. This has been a very interesting game. Very interested to hear what you guys think about my plays, whether I sequence things correctly or not. It's a pretty tough first 5 or 6 turns, though. Actually, the first maybe 6 or 7 turns. Didn't draw any lands. Just stuck on the first 2 that I drew, I think. So if Rich has a Siege Rhino, he can take me down to 1 life. Alright, he's attacking with the Tarmogoyf. Go to blocks, just ask. Okay, he's gone to blocks. Now, he doesn't have anything that randomly gives trample, like at instant speed. That would stink. But I'm just going to chump this guy. Okay, so I lose an elemental. Tarmogoyf is tapped. It doesn't look like my elemental wants to leave. Plays another Tarmogoyf, has a card in hand. Okay, I think I've got. Oh, he doesn't scoop, but he says he thinks I've got it. It's weird. Aether Vial is not going to help me here, but I think I'm just going to activate these 3 Mutavaults and go nuts. With Kira, I mean, he can Abrupt Decay something. Can't Abrupt Decay anything. I don't know if can Abrupt Decay the Master and the Mutavaults are all 3/3s. So I think I'm just going to attack with everybody except Master of Waves. Wait, let me think. All right, so he had a land in his hand. All right, sweet, we got there. Going to game 2. Okay, so against Abzan, I bring in 3 Tidebinder Mages for sure. 2 Relic of Progenitus to make his Tarmogoyfs tiny, and to take him off of Scavenging Ooze, life gain, and growth. As for the counter spells, it's an interesting question. Rich, after sideboarding, is almost certainly going to have access to 1 or 2 Damnations. Spreading Seas is one of our best cards. The Aether Vials come out. We didn't see Aether Vial until very late in that game, and it wasn't necessary at all anyway, even being low on lands. Rich... Actually, no, I'm sorry. I think I had an early game Aether Vial, and Rich Abrupt Decayed it. That would have helped me a lot that game, actually. So you can see that if Rich Abrupt Decays the Aether Vial, then I can just be screwed. So we're just going to rely on our lands for casting our creatures. Kira did a great job. Harbingers did a fantastic job. The Cursecatchers are a little bit suboptimal. So 4 Aether Vials and 1 Cursecatcher out. 3 Tidebinder Mages, increasing my creature count, my net creature count by 2. I like that in this matchup. And 2 Relic of Progenitus, the 5 cards coming in. I'll leave in the 3 spells that interact with his creatures and or troublesome non-land permanents, and we'll see how it goes. Well, this is a pretty bonkers hand as far as the spells go, but we're going to have to mulligan, sadly. Now, knowing the way that Cockatrice works, I'm probably just going to draw into 3 consecutive lands here if I keep this hand, but cannot risk it. Absolutely cannot risk it. Not even a consideration. We're just waiting for Rich. We're on the draw, so he gets to make his decisions first. He already went to his first main phase. A little bit of a strange way to go about doing it. He's thinking pretty hard about it. Okay, I have to mulligan, as I said. This is a little bit better. It's still pretty stinky, but I'm going to go ahead and scry. That makes it much better. So hopefully he uses his hand disruption. On turn 1, and I get to keep my Tidebinder Mage that I draw into. Maybe he'll open with Inquisition, taking a Merrow Reejerey. And then next turn a Tarmogoyf or something, and I'll get to follow up with a Tidebinder Mage. Well, part 1 of my prediction coming true. Let's see if he takes the Reejerey. Maybe he takes the Dismember. Depends on how many threats he has. Seeing that I don't have a lot of creatures, he's probably going to take a creature. He may have boarded in Choke, in which case I'm pretty well off. I have plenty of time to draw into other lands as well. I can be picky about... I guess he'd choose to take my only removal, which is reasonable also. It was a... He might have creature removal in his hand, which just makes sense to get rid of the removal that I have. So I'll play Oboro. That doesn't give him any information about what I drew. So Tidebinder is the only card right now that he doesn't know about. Let's see if he follows up with a Tarmogoyf or something, like I was saying earlier. There it is. All right, so only thing I didn't get quite right was him taking a Reejerey. But now we get to play a Tidebinder. Another island is a little sketchy because I'm afraid of Choke. So the Goyf will get locked down. But Rich did choose to take my Dismember, which means he has some creature removal in his hand. So hopefully he's just short on mana. It looks like he chose to play Tectonic Edge, a colorless source, as his second land, not a normal turn 2 land drop for Abzan if they have other choices. So Rich kept his 7. It might have been short on lands. Oh, but there's his land, so if he follows up with Liliana of the Veil, that's going to be pretty terrible. All we can do is sit and wait with bated breath to see what Rich will do. Okay, just passes the turn, means maybe just sitting back on his removal. Master of Waves is really nice. I think I'm going to attack now. See what he thinks about that. Okay, takes his 2 damage. I'll follow up with this island. It might be the last time I get to tap the island. But if he had Choke, he probably would have played it on his turn, I think. All right, we've got this early pressure on his life total. It doesn't hurt that he's been hitting his own life total with these fetch lands, shock lands. Maybe he's, okay, getting a tapped Godless Shrine. Not a very productive turn cycle for Rich. Maybe he's sitting on like 4 Siege Rhinos or something. I don't know what he could have here. I mean, 1 Siege Rhino would be enough right now. He knows I have the Merrow Reejerey here. He doesn't know about this island, and he doesn't know about this Master of Waves. So Liliana of the Veil is totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Merrow Reejerey because I get more devotion from Tidebinder Mage. And he's currently locking down Rich's only threat. So Reejerey bites the dust. Alright, well, this hand is developing very nicely. He could be luring me into a Choke. I know that he plays that card, and I could just keep playing on my... Well, he has Tectonic Edge as well. He could be coming at this from two directions. He could choke me and then also get rid of my non-basic blue sources. What to play here? If I play out the Lord of Atlantis, I mean, he could be sitting back on a Damnation or something like that, in which case I wouldn't want to overextend anyway. He knows I have a Merrow Reejerey. But if he thought seizes away this Master of Waves, I'm going to be pretty sad. He didn't play a fourth land, so we only have one attacker, and we're definitely hitting Lily, so we'll do that now. Oh, unless he has Slaughter Pact. That would be pretty strong, actually. Okay, he chooses to let Lily die. Now, hold on. If I play this and then play the Master of Waves and he chokes me, I still have 2 mana to work with. Not too bad. So I'm going to do that now. Alright. Pressing the advantage. He could easily have a Path in hand, but I feel like he would have used that a little while ago. Like on my end step or something. I don't know. All we can do is play out creatures and attack. That's all this silly deck does. Alright, back Rich's way. He did not play a land last turn, so I assume he's hoping to hit a land. To play something like a Damnation or a Siege Rhino. Damnation is not terrible because it gets rid of my 4-drop. Damnation is a 4-drop itself and gets rid of my 2-drop and his 2-drop. Rich would at that point be pretty far ahead in card advantage, but it looks like he's unhappy. I don't need to ask him questions about his hand yet. Let's see where it goes. So currently we have 10 power on the board. If we only play one of these lords, we would have 12 power on the board. 6+6. If I draw land and play both lords, I can swing for 8+6, which is exactly lethal. But that seems pretty greedy for me to do. Okay, so he's going to path something on my upkeep. Probably the Master of Waves. Got to imagine. It kind of stinks. Takes 8 power off my board. It's going to extend the game quite a lot. Oh, he might be taking me off of some of my land. With Tech Edge? Wow. What's happening here? Oh, Golgari Charm. Jesus. Alright, well that's one way of getting rid of Master of Waves. That's the same as a path, except it doesn't give me a land. So all creatures get -1/-1 until the end of turn. Fair enough. Okay. I could have done that on his turn. Either way. Land will let me play out both of my creatures, which seems like the correct decision here. If we play both of these, swing for 4, that's going to take him down to 10. And then the following turn, we're going to be attacking for 10. So I can dig it. So if I only play one Lord and then untap this guy in second main phase with the Reejerey, then he'd only go down to 11, and next turn we have the 10 power. Odds are any land that he draws is going to take him down a little bit. I might want to leave this guy up as a blocker, but I'm at 20, so whatever. Let's push the damage. We'll untap an island just in case he plays choke. So Rich is going to take 4 here, going down to 10. Ah, yes. Cool. Yeah, my guy was at 1-1 for the turn, and then now he's only at 3-3. See, He played it on my upkeep, so until the end of turn, the Tidebinder Mage was only a 1/1. The Tarmogoyf is still locked down. Unfortunately, yeah, with that little miscalculation, we don't have lethal unless Rich... Well, if Rich is cracking a fetch land at this point, I think it's pretty bad news for us, probably. I mean, Siege Rhino gains him life, clogs up the board. Though Merfolk can tap him down. Oh, he's passing the turn, missing his land drops. Cursecatcher is nice. It gets me a tap trigger at least. Interesting. Don't know how much I need this tap trigger here. Can try to force something pre-combat by tapping one of his lands. Say he has an Abrupt Decay or something, I can get some information ahead of time. He doesn't have any instant speed things that I could counter with Cursecatcher. In any event, he would play that spell in response to me casting the Cursecatcher. So, yeah, I can just play this guy second main. I think it's safe to say that I've played around choke here at this point with my 3 non-island blue sources. Okay, an Abrupt Decay maybe on maybe the Reejerey. Okay, Tidebinder, that makes sense because that's the biggest guy and he's going to take 6 here and untap his Tarmogoyf. And we will follow up with Cursecatcher and untap the Reejerey, I guess. So let's check Tarmogoyf here. We have instant, land, planeswalker, sorcery, creature. Yeah, 5/6, I think. Instant, land, planeswalker, sorcery. Instant, sorcery, land. Planeswalker, creature. 5/6. Okay, I think Rich is still digging for lands. There it is. Now if he taps out for Siege Rhino, I don't have lethal if I top deck a Spreading Seas because he's going to go up to 8 life. It's 3 mana for a Maelstrom Pulse, leaving mana up to pay for the Cursecatcher. He's going to get rid of the Reejerey, and not much I can do about that. So I let it happen. Passes the turn, being pretty defensive. That's fine with me. Master of Waves would have been nice, but I didn't hit it. I'm going to play the island because at this point, if we top deck a Silvergill Adept, we're going to want lands out to play whatever we draw with Silvergill. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. I don't need to hide the fact that I drew a land at this point. I'm sitting on 20 life, and Rich is not doing too much. I think the fastest way to count Tarmogoyf is to go with sort of permanence and then non-permanence. So if we have sort of land, planeswalker, creature, and then instant sorcery, right? That adds it up pretty quickly. If there was an enchantment and an artifact, those would fall under the permanence. I don't know what Rich is complaining about here. Something is awkward. We can think about what exactly is awkward. So I guess maybe he wanted 5 lands to do something. But instead he just passes the turn. Maybe he's going to get to do something next turn with that land. Spreading Seas is pretty good. So in this spot, he only has white mana. 1 white mana, so I think I'm going to try to hit this Godless Shrine. It's possible that he can destroy his own Godless Shrine in response with Tech Edge, but then he goes down 2 lands. So I'm going to tap Wanderwine and Cavern of Souls to try to hit his... Now this is actually, I think it's best to keep him off of Siege Rhinos if possible. This Hissing Quagmire isn't really worrying me too much because I'll have Island Walk, although he'll have access to Tech Edge to take me off of Island Walk. This might ultimately be my downfall. This Hissing Quagmire might get me. Alright, well, who knows what Rich has in his hand, but we can play out Lord here. And try to get, I mean, we have lethal then, but if he has any removal, if I attack with both guys, he could eat one of my lords. Oh, did he say actually? What is he? So he let the Spreading Seas resolve, which was a mistake. Drew me a card. He could have killed the target in response, in which case Spreading Seas would have gone to the graveyard. No Island Walk though means I can't really attack into this guy. So that Spreading Seas was actually a double land destruction spell. Now, I guess at this point, it's another Spreading Seas would be really good. Tarmogoyf has grown. We have land, creature, enchantment, instant, sorcery, planeswalker, 6. Okay, so Rich continues not playing Choke, so I'm always happy to untap my islands. Okay, we draw another Lord. So we play this and attack with all of our guys, and he kills one of the lords. It's not... He can just block and eat the other lord and take 3 from the Cursecatcher, in which case I'm sitting with only 2 creatures. These discard are useless in an empty hand. So Rich has discard spells in his hand. This is a Hissing Quagmire, but he can't even activate and block with it. I have to assume that he has at least 1 removal spell, in which case I get utterly blown out here. Removing 1 lord, eating another, and only taking 3 from Cursecatcher. I'll just leave it up for a second. So Rich just keeps talking, keeps telling me that, alright, so, oh god, well I have something to counter Damnation if that's the way that he wants to go. I'm not really vulnerable to Maelstrom Pulse, but I think he only plays one of those things anyway. Okay, he's taking 3 here. He's going to cast a Siege Rhino maybe? Declaration in Stone. Well, I can crack the clue right away. Doesn't bother me. I guess he's just being a little bit silly. Okay, well... Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. That was Rich's sort of classic Abzan deck. We didn't see any Siege Rhinos in the entire match, which I can't say that I'm sorry about. I hate that guy. It's a broken card. Should never have been printed. We managed to get there, even though we had some land troubles. Looked like Rich had some land troubles that game as well. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, thumbs up, all that stuff, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks again. Bye.